Hey, Pretty Girl Club. I've got another exotical story time for you guys. If you want your story to be heard on this channel, please send your MLS stories to exoticalsunited@gmail.com. As this channel grows, it is very important for the new people who come on here who are not MLS. It's very important for them to hear our stories and for them to hear our voices. So if you have any stories about things like jealousy or your pretty girl problems, or maybe people trying to invalidate your identity or trying to invalidate who you are, or people who try to police you from embracing who you are, definitely send an email over to exoticalsunited@gmail.com telling your story, and I will share it on this channel. So this email says, "Hi Exoticals United. Your videos have encouraged me to share some of my stories as an MLS girl. I must say that this is a really interesting story time given that it took place a week ago in my auntie's house. My auntie is an unambiguous dark-skinned black woman with a victim mindset and a longing to control. She is my late mom's half-sister, and in our culture, if your parent dies, your siblings are next in line to be your guardian. Or your parents' siblings are next in line to be your guardian. Now, my mom is an MLS woman, and her sister, Rose, has always held that against her, and now that hate has trickled down towards me. So what had happened last week was crazy and kind of funny to me, but it exposed my self-hating aunt even further. I was listening to your videos while cleaning my room. So she was listening to the Exoticals United YouTube channel. She said, I was home alone. Aunt Rose was at work and her kids live out of state. As I was listening to your videos on a moderate volume, she happened to come back home early. I didn't know she had been eavesdropping. She barged into my room, even though the door was clearly opened, and started cussing me out. I reacted very nonchalantly because I'm too old for that crap. I'm 18 with my own job, an MLS man who loves me, and I'm moving out soon. I have tolerated her abuse for too long. So after she cussed me out and I didn't react the way she had hoped, she got even more mad and started telling me that I won't listen to racism in her house, referring to your videos. Have you ever noticed how whenever unambiguous women have their own channels, no one cares, right? It's fine. White women can have channels, Asian women, Latin American, anybody else can have their own communities. But suddenly, if you're mixed race, or if you are quote unquote light skinned, or let's say you're a darker skinned mixed woman, and you're multiracial, suddenly anything we do in particular is automatically racist. We're colorist, texturist, featurist, anti-black. And it's funny because on this channel, the whole point of this channel is not to deny our blackness. It's not to be anti-black. The point of this channel is to say, hey, I am black and something else. Or, hey, I am black and also light skinned. Hey, I am black and also white. I'm black and also something else. But a lot of people, when they have an inferiority complex about their blackness, if they see you enjoying any form of non-blackness, or they see you enjoying that your hair texture is, a type 3, or you enjoy the fact that you have a lighter skin tone, they automatically assume that it is because you are thinking that you are better than black people. Not because you could actually love yourself. That's impossible. Because for a lot of people who have an inferiority complex, in their mind, the only way they can love themselves is if they are superior to others. But because they have an inferiority complex, they can't love themselves because they feel like they're at the bottom. In fact, I've even heard unambiguous women use that terminology in their videos. They will say, we are at the bottom, or black women are at the bottom, and nobody likes us, or whatever, or black men are at the bottom. Those are their counterparts. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that she called these videos racist. Anybody who is not an MLS person, or a person who does not have pretty privilege, or a person who does not want to decenter men, they're probably not going to relate to the content. So those types of people who, let's say they leave a comment on this channel, I just automatically hide them from the channel because it's like, we don't need you here. You shouldn't even be popping up in my algorithm. I shouldn't be popping up in your algorithm. So why don't I do you a favor and just like block you? But yeah, I've noticed that some people, they do that because they just feel excluded. They feel like it's basically triggering a wound that person already had. So if a person already feels excluded from Hollywood, they're excluded from the dating market, they feel excluded from wealth opportunities, they feel excluded from having any form of privilege. They kind of have this victim mentality. They feel excluded from being beautiful. And then they see that you're watching a YouTube channel that focuses on you. And even though you're not trying to purposely exclude them like in a mean way or anything, they're going to take it as, oh, I'm being excluded specifically. And on this channel, unfortunately, the biggest trolls I've had on this channel have unfortunately been unambiguous monoracial black women. And also, on this channel, a core piece of our identity is our blackness. And also, I can only talk about my experiences. So it's like if I went to an HBCU, or if I was around black women who made certain comments about me, or black men who made certain comments about me, I can only speak from my experiences. So who else's experiences am I supposed to speak from? And unfortunately, the biggest enemies to MLS women tend to be unambiguous black women, according to a lot of our experiences. So it's like, yeah, 10,000 of us can't all be lying if all of us have said, hey, it seems like unambiguous women in particular try to kind of come after us, or maybe unambiguous black men as well, try to humble us because they see enough proximity to our phenotype to feel an attachment to us, or they want to, they'll try to approximate themselves to you by saying, oh no, you still look black, or you're too dark to be mixed, or your hair is too nappy, you have 4C hair, all mixed people have type 3 hair, so you can't possibly be mixed. They're saying that because they want to approximate themselves to you, because it makes them feel better to feel like they look like you. It makes them feel better to feel like, oh, you look black, because they want to call you black because they call themselves black, and they want to clout chase off of your beauty and your phenotype, and they want to be associated with you. Anyway, let's continue. She said, I burst out laughing and she charged towards me to hit me. I didn't duck, and she didn't hit me because she realized that I wasn't intimidated. Then she told me to make my racist videos softer than they already were. I did that. She sat on my bed and started warning me against your videos, telling me that I'm a black woman and I should be proud of that. It's funny because I've never said on this channel, you guys are not black, or you can't be proud of your blackness. I specifically say on this channel all the time that I don't police anyone's identity. So I actually don't care if you want to call yourself black, even if you're biracial. I don't care if you want to call yourself black, red, green, purple, golden, mulatto, biracial, multiracial, triracial, Caucasian. I don't actually care what names people call themselves. But I've noticed that some people, if they feel like the only thing that they have as a part of their identity is their blackness, then they get mad when you have an identity outside of just blackness. So like for me, yes, blackness is a part of my identity. I can claim I am a black woman. I can say that if I want to. But you know what I can also say? I am a Latina. I am mixed race. I'm multiracial. A lot of people get mad because you have a fluid identity and they don't. So they get mad because you can call yourself black, you can call yourself, I've heard some girls call themselves mixed black women, and I understand why they're saying that. It's similar to the phrase Afro-Latina. They're trying to put the Afro part first to kind of emphasize their blackness, or maybe they feel like as far as their phenotype, they look more black than anything else. And so I've noticed that some people whose identity is only centered around blackness and that's it, they get mad that you have other options on what to call yourself. So they're jealous of the fluid identity that you have. They are jealous that you can choose to call yourself black, or you can call yourself mixed race or light-skinned black, or whatever you feel comfortable calling yourself. And it's funny because people will try to police your identity because they want to control your self-perception. A lot of people who have a low self-perception, or they have a bad self-perception, so they view themselves in a negative way, they don't want you to have confidence. They don't want you to have more confidence than them. Have you ever noticed that a lot of people, they want you to be confident, they want you to succeed, but they just don't want you to succeed more than them. They don't want you to have more confidence than them. And so a lot of times people will make these comments to mixed race people, or multi-generationally mixed people in particular, or non-white passing mixed people, or darker skinned exoticals, darker skinned multiracial women, and they will try to force you to only rep blackness. They want you to be ashamed of your non-black heritage. They want you to be ashamed of your family members who may have a different phenotype than you. They want you to have the same inferiority complex about your phenotype that they have about their phenotype. So I've noticed that some unambiguous black women, especially if you're a darker skinned mixed person or a non-white passing mixed person, they will be like, oh no, how dare you look visibly black and still want to rep your non-blackness as a part of your identity? How dare you have proximity to my phenotype, but give yourself the option to have a fluid identity? And this is all rooted in jealousy and an inferiority complex. I would love for someone to prove me wrong on that, but have you ever noticed how nobody can prove you wrong? Nobody can check you on that. Anyway, she said, she started giving me a bullcrap woke lecture about how I must embrace my blackness, marry a black man, and make black babies because the white man is after breaking up the black family. Then I mentioned that I'm already dating an MLS man, which she knew about. Guess what she said to me? She said, "My child, leave that man. Mixed people are confused. Don't bring confusion to your child's DNA." Well, the reason that a lot of mixed people are confused is because they have unambiguous black women and men, like this woman, who are constantly trying to tell us that we are forced to pick a side or that we need to pretend like our own family members don't exist. We need to pretend like our light skin tone doesn't exist. We need to pretend like our type 3 hair textures don't exist. We're supposed to pretend like we look exactly like Whoopi Goldberg, Viola Davis, and Tika Sumpter, when in reality we look nothing like that. And so this is why people are confused. It's because a lot of unambiguous people, they want to impose their identity upon you. But guess what? You have the choice. That's what this channel promotes, is freedom of choice and the ability to take charge over how you want to navigate in society. Other people can't tell me how to navigate through society. So guess what? You can call me unambiguous or one drop me or whatever, or say you're not that light skinned or whatever. You can say whatever you want to say, but that doesn't control my self-perception. That doesn't control how I navigate through society. I can still go into a job interview tomorrow and talk about my Irish ancestry and talk about my Latin ancestry or talk about whatever I want with people from those cultures. A lot of unambiguous people are mad because they lack common ground with people who are not black. And so when they see you as a black/black adjacent person, and they see you being able to be open-minded or multicultural, or, they see you with this fluid identity, not only does it confuse them, but it also intimidates them because they feel like they are being left behind socially. They feel like your fluid identity places you on a higher rung on the social hierarchy, which in my opinion, it actually does. Because guess what? The world doesn't revolve around unambiguous black women. The world doesn't revolve around unambiguous black men. The world does not revolve around any one ethnic group of people, not even white people. So guess what? Nobody else gets to tell me how I should name my DNA or what nickname I should give my own DNA or who my parents are or what ethnicities I get to be proud of in my background. Let's continue. She says, "I was so disgusted, but I held back. She spoke for more than 2 hours about the same thing, just spewing garbage. Needless to say, it was ridiculous. I am so glad I get to leave ASAP." Yes, congratulations on your level up journey. Congratulations on leaving this woman who clearly has an inferiority complex. You're not the only one who has gone through this. I have family members who, they will try to talk down on people, or they will basically, if you're not super pro-black, they will try to, they'll basically get angry and try to approximate themselves to you. I've noticed that the only people who make comments like "you're not that light-skinned," they're usually people who are black identified. Usually it's somebody black who said that, honestly. I've never in my life heard a white person or a non-black person say, "Oh, so-and-so is not that light-skinned." Nope, never in my life. Or, "Oh, so-and-so is mixed, but she just looks black." As if there's something wrong with looking black, or as if you looking black somehow invalidates you being multiracial. But yeah, this is just a common tactic that we see with a lot of unambiguous monoracial people who have their own inferiority complexes. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.